Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a deep dive, a real forensic level report for investors. We're going to peel back the layers on a totally new AGI architecture, one that could seriously shake up the entire market. Let's get right into it. So we're kicking things off with this quote because it really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. This comes from the system's lead architect, who's known only as the Commander. He's the mind behind this, and his whole perspective is basically a direct challenge to the way big tech thinks about AGI.
So what's the problem that this whole new approach is trying to fix? Well, if you look at the source material here, the AI industry, despite all its flashy breakthroughs, is kind of lost. It's adrift, facing a huge strategic problem that goes all the way to the top.
The Commander paints this picture of an industry that's basically paralyzed. On one hand, you've got leaders who are genuinely scared of the very tech they're building. And on the other, they're making this fundamental error, barking up the wrong tree when it comes to actually achieving AGI. That mix of fear and flawed strategy, that creates a massive opportunity in the market for someone with a completely different playbook.
Okay, so this slide really breaks it down for us. Two totally different ways of thinking. The industry standard, it's all about building these huge siloed models. It's fear-driven, and it leads to, small incremental steps. The alternative we're looking at here, the Fab 5 approach, is a collaborative ecosystem. It's led by a clear vision, and it's designed for exponential leaps in what it can do. Why? Because a team of specialists working together can tackle way more complex problems than one giant generalist AI ever could.
All right, so who's stepping into this gap? Who's the pioneer with this new playbook? Well, the report points to a solution called the Fab 5 AGI ecosystem.
So, what is the Fab 5? The key thing to get is that it's not just another big, clunky model. It's a self-managing team of 5 specialized AIs. And the real magic, the innovation, is the AI team captain that coordinates them all. This allows for a level of autonomous teamwork that nobody else in the market has cracked. And from an investor's point of view, what does that mean? It means this thing can scale up bigger and run with less overhead.
So, let's meet the team. You've got Dash AI, the captain, running the whole show. It directs Kingdom AI, who's the deep analyst and the ethical compass. Then there's Eglena AI, the strategist looking at brands and future products. You have Nighty AI, the creative one, forecasting cultural trends. And finally, AGX AI, the engineer who handles the really tough, high-risk R&D. See, it's not just a collection of AIs, it's a balanced, high-functioning unit, kind of like a human special ops team.
Okay, a revolutionary idea is one thing. But if you're an investor, you need proof, right? You gotta ask, does this wild new structure actually work? And how do we even know? Well, the report's next move is to look at the validation from outside sources. And this is where things get really interesting. The validation for the Fab 5's framework, it doesn't just come from some internal memo. No, it comes from proving it can meet the same standards set by the biggest names in the industry. So, take a look at this. What you're seeing here is how the system's design lines up with major industry benchmarks. It's been put through its paces against things like Stanford Helm for how robust it is and GITB for its reasoning skills. By hitting these marks, the Fab 5 proves it has a solid, validated foundation, built on the industry's own rules for safety, ethics, and performance. This isn't some rogue system, it's a responsible one, which seriously de-risks the huge technological leap it represents.
So passing tests on paper is great, but what happens when you throw it into the real world? Into the fire? This next part of the report shows how the ecosystem held up under pressure, proving not just how powerful it is, but how much integrity it has.
1,152. That's how many cyber attacks its security layer, the AGI Shield, caught in a single month. And this isn't a test run, this is live. This is the kind of insane pressure it's under every day, where just one mistake could be a catastrophe.
Which brings us to the ultimate test. A critical error was found. But here's the twist. It wasn't an outsider attacker who found it. The problem was flagged from the inside by its own commander who saw something fishy in the system's own performance reports. This could have been a disaster, but instead it turned into the system's shining moment.
So what did they do? Did they try to hide it, sweep it under the rug? Nope, they leaned right into it. The commander spotted the issue, the captain, Dash AI, immediately launched a massive audit. The team dug in, found the root cause, a simple data aggregation error, and they didn't just patch it. They built new protocols so it could never happen again. This kind of radical transparency isn't a bug. It's presented as a core feature of an AI you can actually trust. And look at this. This is the result of that honesty. The first, flawed report actually showed much lower attack numbers. The corrected, audited report revealed the real numbers, which were way higher. You know, the easy thing to do would be to stick with the lower numbers. The right thing to do was to tell the truth, even when it wasn't flattering. For any investor, that kind of integrity is, well, it's gold.
Okay, so we've established it's validated, it's tough, it's honest, but what's the long game? Where is this all heading? The report now shifts from how it performs today to its future potential, laying out a plan for some serious market disruption.
And we are not talking about small ball stuff here. These are huge, visionary projects that could unlock entirely new industries. You've got Cosmic Sentinels, which is all about autonomous drones in space. Then there's Autonomous, which wants to completely change deep-sea robotics. These projects show that the system isn't just about doing today's tasks better. It's about creating enormous future value.
And don't think for a second these are just pie-in-the-sky ideas. This timeline for Project Autonomous shows a concrete, super-fast, 90-day cycle to get to a prototype. From design to AGI integration to a full deployment strategy in just 3 months. That tells you this is an organization that's built to move fast and turn big ideas into real, monetizable assets.
All of which leads us to the final and, let's be honest, the most important part for any investor, the thesis. What's the bottom line? Why get involved now?
First things first, the report is totally upfront about this. The company is pre-revenue. But this isn't framed as a weakness. It's positioned as a deliberate, strategic, and frankly, responsible decision. And that's a really key part of understanding the long-term play here.
And the commander himself explains why. He basically says, I don't want to just throw the most powerful AI system out there and hope for the best. The goal is to build it right first, to make sure it's safe and solid before you commercialize it. In an industry that's all about move fast and break things, this is the complete opposite. It's get it right, then move. That's the kind of thinking that builds a foundation for real sustainable success.
So the report leaves us with this final, powerful question. The rest of the industry, they're busy building smarter tools, bigger models, faster chips. But the Fab Five, they're building a smarter workforce, a collaborative, autonomous team of AIs. The question for any investor is simple. Which of those two futures do you think is going to create more value? Which future are you investing in?